What is going on, guys? Nick here, and in this video I want to go over the spell that I had found. And this spell, it's not a new spell, a lot of people already know about it, but this spell actually has a lot of functionality and there's a lot of different purposes you can use for this spell. Now this spell is the BuffMeister Spell. Okay, so it's a legendary spell and you can roll it for different damages like frost, fire. You can also do dark damage and all that kind of good stuff. I have three of them. I have dark damage one, a fire one, and a frost one. Now let's kind of go over what this spell does. Okay, so the spell itself, okay, it increases your direct damage by a certain amount. It lasts for 11.5 seconds or whatever. It does spell damage, spell cooldown, but it self-casts. It casts around the owner. It increases the Fate Maker's power, bonk, and zap. Okay, now as you guys know, part of Wonderlands is there's a lot of hidden, stuff that goes behind weapons, spells, armor, all that kind of stuff. So let's just take my gun, for example. So this gun has no other type of elemental damage attached to it. And I'm going to shoot at the target here. So I do 3,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, okay, around there. All right, so I'm going to pop one. Okay, so this is going to be like a little buff. That's going to increase to 6,000, but it's also going to do a passive. Okay, so 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 with a little bit of damage. All right, pretty simple, right? So it increases your damage. It also adds in a little buff. Okay, so now let's try it with both. Okay, and then in order to do both is you need to have the ambihextrous. So I'm a Graveborn SpellShot. Okay, so and I have the ambihextrous, which makes this spell even more powerful because you can pop two of them at the same time. Okay, so now doing 6,000 plus another 700 or 1,400 for each elemental damage on hit. Okay, plus I have a chance to apply the status effect there, so that's pretty cool. Okay, and this is a critical hit. Okay, so critical hits do around, for this gun, 19k damage. Okay, so I'm gonna pop one. That's gonna do about 26k damage plus another 3,000 for a critical of the fire. So if I'm hitting crits all the time, let's say you have a crit gun build, you're gonna be hitting just amazing amount of damage, 29k. And then I'm gonna pop this one. Same thing for this side. Okay, so the spells are the same, but stacking them, if I stack them like this, now I'm doing another 25k plus 3k of each elemental damage. Okay, so that's gonna be like 31k total damage. That's just because that's like the base skill of my gun. Obviously guns and builds and all that stuff are different. So let's say, so my build is pretty much a gun damage build. Okay, my build isn't focused around spell cooldown. So what that means is my spell cooldown, let's say I pop both, okay, and I'm doing lots of damage, having a lot of fun, going insane amounts of damage. But as you see on the middle of my screen, the spells run out, the spells run out, but my spell cooldown hasn't recharged yet. So now I'm back to just doing normal damage, okay, which is all fun and game. But as you get in game, you're gonna need to be doing as much damage output as you can. So there's a couple things you can do. You can decrease your spell cooldown time. You can have kill skills that can, on kill, you can reduce your spell cooldown time and all that kind of stuff. So anything to do that. Or if you do have the ambihextrous skill as part of your class right here, if you have this thing, the ambihextrous, what you can do is you can run around. You can pop one and you're still doing that base increase amount of 25, 26k damage. In this case, obviously it'll be different for you. You're still doing that. You run around doing it. And as soon as that one runs out, pop this one. So now you're constantly buffed. Okay, you're constantly buffed, doing damage, blah, blah, blah. Just like that. So that's cool. Pop it again. Boom. All right. And then now you just have a constant buff on your character. And the cool thing about this too is you sprint pretty fast with this buff on because it increases your Fate Maker power. So it increases your resistance. It increases a whole lot of stuff. All right. I'm gonna pop that again. It even increases your health as well. So literally it increases your Fate Maker's power. So it buffs your character overall. Okay, I'm gonna pop that one. So now I'm just instantly buffed. All right, so now let's go test it out on a couple bosses. Alrighty, so just for the sake of this video, I am using a shotgun. Now my build is normally this vampiric build. I have this really cool chaotic vampire gun that I've been using. This one right here, the gloomy vamp. But for the sake of this build is because I don't want to have any other outside effects on this, I'm going to use this Red Hellion of the Death Thong because it doesn't do any elemental damage. So I'm going to pull that out. I'm going to come over here if I can get it. Yep, right here. Okay, just looks like that. I'm going to jump in, of course. You know him, you love him, you hate him. The Zom boss, okay? Now I did this boss because it's fairly easy to get to and all that kind of stuff. So that, doesn't do much damage to him. All right, so now I'm going to pop my buffs and I'm gonna look at them, and that increases the damage by a considerable amount. Okay, now like I said, this isn't my build. I'm already out of ammo because I don't have this type of weapon upgraded yet, and I'm on chaos mode level 3, so I'm gonna go here. All right, so this is my build right here. This is what it looks like. Gonna pull that out. So now he's just doing lots of AoE damage and all that kind of stuff too. Right there. Perfect. So that's what it looks like as far as the boss. Alright, so now we got the boss testing out of the way. See, I do like some pretty decent base damage to just my build. It's decent, it's decent. But once I pop these buffs, like right here, see, not a lot of damage, but once I pop both of these, considerably more damage right there. Considerably. If you notice that, I 3-shot him. So that's kind of like what that build looks like, and you can actually do a lot with this. I like how it has a lot of flexibility. Like, for example, you can have one spell, but you can also have a more attack spell because it'll also increase that as well. So that's why I think this build has a lot of potential, and if you want that constant buff, it's a good thing to go for. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It'll really help me out a lot. See you next time. Peace.